We talked to him about $10 keys a bunch.
Sure, we did. That was fun.
We all talked about $20
on that list. I didn't realize some of those books would be $10.
That's how it goes.
It was a bit surprising.
That's what we do, man. We got to find them with the surprising ones. We also have a $20 key list that we've done.
$20 keys. It's like the same kind of thing, but twice as much money. You get a little bit more surprising keys in there.
But what's this?
What are we doing now?
$50 keys.
What a progression.
Wow, who would have thought that was coming? Key Collector Comics, the best comic app in existence to learn about comic books, to catalog and get suggested pricing. There's a bunch of categories on there. I suggest you scrub through those routinely to learn about expensive paper, books that you may have in your collection, that you may be able to get when you're out and about and you're hunting. We have $50 keys. I picked 50 keys we're going to talk about. No, I picked 10 keys. We're talking about 10 key books that go for right around $50. Some of them are on the decline, and I think they're awesome. I think you should consider it. One of the things I try to do is I try to make the moment happen as much as possible where Ryan goes, What? Really? That's only $50? Because that's how I know I did something good. I found something that he believes as a reader and low-key collector should be worth more. And if it's surprising to you, it's going to be surprising to everybody else who actually buys comics that are high grade and are collecting and investing. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I learned a lot from this segment.
Yeah. What are you doing, Ryan?
Taking a little clip of Butch. You can't see Butch right now.
Ryan is on his phone.
I'm just talking. I don't really care about this show. You know?
I know, right? He's just on his phone. He's taking pictures of my cat because Butch is on the table sleeping, doing what he do. We have $50 keys, Key Collector Comics. Use code TOM101 to unlock a free 2-week subscription, support the show. And let's talk about Black Knight #1. We have the first solo series featuring Black Knight, Dane Whitman. $50 average sales after a spike that was pretty aggressive prior to the Eternals. Then after the Eternals, Kit Harington not going full Black Knight in the movie, but you get a teaser at the end knowing that he is coming back. And if anything does reprise from this movie that critics largely didn't care for, I didn't mind it.
Still haven't seen it.
Now you gotta see it.
You told me what happens with Kit Harington at the end.
Did you just see it?
I'm very intrigued.
I'm excited to talk to you about it.
Is it?
I enjoyed
it's not
it.
on Disney Plus yet, right?
No, not yet. Nowhere near. But this is a book that as soon as we see more Black Knight spec start to take place, you know, Kit Harington's going to go full Black Knight eventually. It looks like there's going to be some Blade narratives that he gets involved with. Who knows?
I need to see this movie, apparently.
You got to see it. But Black Knight #1, seeing a $50 average sale on the high end, I think this is one you should be watching. If you can grab it on the low, I really believe it will go back up.
I was kind of surprised. You heard me say this several times when you ran through these books with me earlier, but I'm surprised that this book only is $50. That seems really low for.
It spiked up quick.
It's his first solo series, not the first appearance.
Yeah, exactly. First solo series, but as honestly, an issue 1.
As a reader, I appreciate the first solo series much more than like a random book where he just pops in and like, oh hey.
That's what gives it this type of like notoriety.
Like I would rather have Wolverine #1 instead of Hulk 180.
FireGuyRyan. We have all new Ghost Rider #1, number 9 on this list. First appearance and origin of Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes. We chatted about this book on the trending video after news about Ghost Riders started circulating. Do you see that Norman Reedus stuff?
Yeah. I don't like that idea. I don't know how people feel about that, but
well,
is it just because he likes motorcycles? Is that
it's because of him on Walking Dead playing
driving a motorcycle everywhere.
Daryl. Yeah, he's right. So he's like, hey, he can ride a motorcycle, so he should be Ghost Rider.
That's a low bar. My dad can ride a motorcycle, but he should not be Ghost Rider.
Is that the bar?
Apparently.
You have to ride a bike. But here's the thing: Boss Logic kind of changed the dialogue and said, "Yo, what about Gabriel Luna? That's what I'm waiting on." So that got Gabriel Luna to tweet out, "Get ready, so that you're ready." You know, it's like that is something kind of ambiguous. Like,
sure. Get
ready so that you're ready.
Get ready so you're ready.
Something like that. Like
words to live by.
Yeah, like skull and fire emojis. Like kind of teasing that.
It'd be weird to post that and not be playing him again.
Can you imagine like Marvel be like, what the hell is this dude doing, man?
You're fired.
Yeah, we cut that contract a long time ago. But hopefully Gabriel Luna does reprise the role because he killed it. And we have Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider, seeing $50 average sales. But when we reported on the 9.8 sales, it was down upwards of $100 in as little as 2 months. And the last time it spiked was because Ghost Rider spec started circulating, multiple Ghost Riders being leaked that were going to be introduced, possibly Johnny Blaze as early as Multiverse of Madness. I don't see that happening with the current character slate we're expecting right now. But anything goes. Next one on this list, we have Infinite Crisis number 5. This book is down, and I don't think it should be. First full and cover appearance of the third Blue Beetle in costume, Jaime Reyes. We found out in like late 2021 that this was a character. Well, actually, I'll take it even further. A year ago, we were hearing spec that Blue Beetle was going to get his own show, Jaime Reyes. Then we heard in upwards of like, I want to say it was September or October, check Key Collector, the alerts will tell you, that there was an HBO Max announcement that there was going to be a show. Then Blue Beetle was cast, Jaime Reyes, they had an actor attached, kid from Karate Kid. Then December, just months later, we found out that it's not going to be on HBO Max. It's going to be a movie. So it started moving quick. And the actor attached, he started talking about how he's already done his costume fittings. Like this right here looks like it's happening. And because of all this news and how it was kind of rolled out, some kind of false news, but then that was coupled with like even better news for potential of spec, it caused the book to move up and down, fluctuations of over $100 for 9.8s. And we have a issue 5 key book that is on a downward trend, possibly for the last time. And
Before it blows up
again.
I still need to read Infinite Crisis. I'm a bad DC fan.
I'm surprised because there's some like Green Lantern stuff that's tied into that.
Jeff Johns, like
it seems like it's all you, man.
DC's kind of tough. Like the crossovers aren't as easy to get into as Marvel.
What do we got here?
This is Deadpool number 54. It says here, classic battle of Punisher versus Deadpool.
This is something that's just fun because any Deadpool or Punisher fan wants this, and if you're a fan of both, which they kind of share fandoms. This is a book that's like been a key. This is always been an expensive book for like, 10 years now. I remember going to conventions and seeing this on walls back then.
I just look at the cover here and my brain just starts going. Like, you got like the most ridiculous, goofy character paired with the most serious, like murderer character. I guess they're both murderers, but like.
But one's a bit more hardcore than the other. But they're both hardcore.
Imagining like John Bernthal.
Hardcore.
That sounds beautiful.
School of Rock, dude.
Thank you. I was singing that the other day, actually. Not that song, but different.
Which one were you singing from School of Rock?
Heal me. You know that one?
No.
I'm heartsick and name out of jail. You know when they're practicing?
No, I don't remember.
It's that song. Okay.
No, I just remember touch me, babe. Dun, 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 dun. Can't you see that I am not afraid?
School of Rock comic fan. That's a good one.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence is good at the piano.
Yes.
He will be rocking at my show. Man, that's a great movie, man.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one. So that's why we recommend Deadpool 54.
Is School of Rock on this list?
I don't think so.
Can you buy it for $50?
I don't think so. I think you get it cheaper.
You can?
There's more spec on Deadpool and Punisher than Jack Black right now.
No. Jack Black needs to be in the MCU.
Anyways, Daredevil, Punisher, classic cover, white cover, tough and high grade, always been expensive. It's on the rise a little bit, but $50 for a high grade copy. If you can grab one in near mint, I really think you'll be happy about it long term. We also have Static number 1 on a decline, mostly because of COVID, I suspect. I think there's a lot of pushback right now in the timelines of all these movies, and this was announced in October 2020 that Warner Brothers and Michael B. Jordan's production company acquired the rights to produce Static. As you can see, I sit next to a newsstand version of the variant cover of Static.
Okay.
I'm specking on Static. I've been waiting for another 9.8 newsstand copy to come up. I may be kind of spilling the beans here. One hasn't come up in like over a year. That's right. Good luck finding one. I put my money where my mouth is. Static is a amazing superhero.
I think that soundboard
much fun.
Could just be one big button with a boom on it.
I know, right, man? It's wacky. But dude, I keep telling the comic fam, be prepared because when I get the new soundboard installed and I have all the sounds in there, you're gonna hate it, but you're gonna love it. So bear with us.
This is just a boom machine.
This is, I got some things on here,
It's your boy Gem Mint.
but it's gonna get better. All right, but Static
I need to
on a
read all
downward
this
trend.
Milestone stuff. I don't know any Milestone, anything.
Blood Syndicate,
Hardware,
dude. You gotta read some hardware.
The Rocket one, Icon, like I don't know any of this.
All right, next on the list,
Who even am I? Do I even read comics?
Black Widow number 1, Yelena Belova, Natasha Romanoff face off to own the codename Black Widow. This is the first mention of the Red Room. Yelena Belova's identity is revealed, and this is the first issue of the 3-part series. It's a black cover. It's tough and high grade. Black Widow 1 at $50 seems criminally underpriced, and it's mostly because I think because of the recent Black Widow movie, people kind of have it twisted that Scarlett Johansson's still in the game here. I think that people haven't moved on to the fact that we have a new Black Widow, and we need to welcome this Black Widow, and her keys should follow, and they're not just yet. But when you watch Hawkeye, and really when you see Black Widow, the movie, you see that our May Queen is going to get us there.
Oof. Crush, man. I got a little bit of a crush.
Me too, man.
On Florence.
Yeah, it's the hereditary connection indirectly.
A cutie.
She's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, this is Marvel Knights, which
She's
is like
funny.
Yes.
Like hilarious.
Her showing up
in Hawkeye.
Like it was unexpected.
Every time she was there, it was hilarious. In some of the best scenes in that whole
Maybe
show.
you really want mac and cheese. I want
mac and cheese right now.
Right now. Can we stop the show?
We can go get some mac and cheese. I have the quick little, like you put some water in it, put it in for 2 minutes, it overflows, and you have to clean up the microwave, but you still get mac and cheese in a minute.
Some weird kind of foam that comes out of that stuff.
Yeah, it's like powder in the noodle. Can we take the
cameras into the kitchen and make some microwave mac and cheese?
I don't know if it would be worth it, but we do have Black Widow #1 going for $50 average sales. It shouldn't. This is a amazing key book, and I'll tell you, you couldn't find this book for $50 at either convention that I went to this past year.
I just like the fact that it's Marvel Knights, which is like as close as Marvel's ever going to get
mature,
to Black Label.
Black Label, yeah.
There's also, right now, as we're recording this, there's actually a Marvel Knights sale on Comixology. So you might be able to get that book for super cheap if you want to read it, just to make sure you want to drop $50 on it, which is how I like to do it.
Next at the list at number 7, we have Batman Adventures Mad Love Special #1. This is the second appearance and origin of Harley Quinn, not in the mainstream universe. First time she shows up after her first appearance in Batman Adventures. So with Batman Adventures 12 going to the moon and sustaining regardless of any media input, that book has become a modern grail. Just like Deadpool has risen to legendary hero status from the modern times as Harley Quinn. As did Harley Quinn.
Gotcha.
So long term, I really believe that Harley Quinn keys are a safe bet regardless of anything that Margot Robbie's doing. Harley Quinn is known by more people in culture than most superheroes, and she's a new character. This right here, Batman Adventures Mad Love Special. I've been getting people comics longer than the YouTube channel.
Yes.
All right. I was a dealer before, and part of being a dealer is catering friendships of their fandom through finding them things that they would like. I think I said that right.
I think you did.
Harley Quinn fans, if they have a 9.8 of Batman Adventures 12, they have this book.
I didn't even know this book existed until today, but that's because Harley Quinn is not my favorite.
Well, Harley Quinn's not your favorite, and this is one that some people just kind of ignore, but it is her second appearance, and it's a Joker-themed book.
And I would much rather read this than a random middle-of-the-run issue of Batman Adventures, which I'm sure are probably like standalone comics.
Right.
I don't think there's much of story arcs in those, but this one seems fun to me.
No, it's fun, and it's super hard and high grade because these kids' books were just handled very poorly, but we've talked about that multiple times. But $50 for this book, it still seems undervalued to me. I think this is a $100 book all day long. I have seen VF copies that this says $15 mid go for what it says for the high range. You can find this dealers who will put this up for 30, 40, 50 bucks in mid grade, regardless of what Overstreet says, what anything, and be very outspoken. Like, yeah, we're at a convention, it's up a little bit in value because this one's available right here, right now, and people buy it no matter what. It's just, it doesn't stay at shows. It's a tough book to find. It was one of the first books Eris told me he wanted. He actually is one of the Harley Quinn fans that I know that I've supplied a bunch of Harley Quinn books to. Next at the list, Hellblazer #1, the premiere issue featuring John Constantine's first ongoing titled series. $50 average sales for the high grade. And what did you say, Ryan?
I was surprised that this book is only $50. This feels like something that should be way higher.
There we go.
I think your dad has all of these.
Absolutely.
Ever made.
Hellblazer #1, first appearance of Papa Midnight, one of the best mature reads from DC at this time, one of the most recommended things my dad gave me to read back in the day. And issue 1 of Constantine seems like it's undervalued at $50, largely because his first appearance in Swamp Thing 37 has become a very highly sought after collectible. And I suspect that's happened because of all of the HBO Max slated shows that are more dark themed, but how often Constantine is reutilized because the fandom is there. They're ever present. It's always growing. And it's never a bad idea to include Constantine on your show or in your narrative.
And I just started reading this little book called Sandman that no one's really heard of. Ooh. It's actually pretty good. People were not wrong.
Ryan comes over. He's like, do you have Trade 3? Oh, I started reading Sandman and everyone was right. It's amazing. Yeah, like you've been putting off Sandman for a really long time. And I understand because you're going to go through it and go, wow, I wish I could reread this again for the first time.
What if he shows up in that show? Is he allowed to?
Oh, he's going to be in the show.
On the Sandman show?
I think they gender swapped.
Okay.
It's like a lady
Is Sandman
Constantine.
not a DC property? Because isn't that show on Netflix?
No, it is.
Am I wrong?
No, John Constantine. How far are you in Sandman?
2 trades?
So he's shown up.
Yeah, he showed up.
Okay,
already.
so yeah, he's already shown up in Sandman. No, he's slated for Sandman. Like they've already done the casting. It may be like a descendant. I'm not sure, but I know it's like Constantine and it's they gender swap.
Jane Constantine.
Something like that. All right, here we go. We also heard that there was a Constantine sequel in the works.
We also Reeves Constantine?
That could be so awesome. I don't even care anymore because they can redo it. He's gained so much fandom since that they can do it again.
Just beat John Wick with magic.
All right, we have 2 more left. This is that was number 8. So this is number 9. We have The Punisher #1, the premiere issue of the first ongoing Punisher series. $50 may seem drastically low, but bear with me. $50 averages is long earned for quite some time. This used to be a $10 to $20 book in the high range. And it's because Punisher appears so many times prior to this series that although it is his first ongoing, a lot of people are after his early appearances, his first appearances in Amazing Spider-Man. There's even like a Marvel magazine that he appeared in, and that marks his second appearance and some of the early key moments of the character. But in comic form, with Bazooka hanging on the side of a building.
Can you zoom in on that picture? I've never really looked at this cover so closely, but that's going to hurt him. Like, if he shoots that thing into that room, there's going to be some blowback.
Well, he's probably just like getting him ready. He's going to jump backwards and then
I hope so, because he is way too close for that to be safe. I mean, for him.
But it still is a classic cover, Ryan, damn it.
It is. It is a pretty looking cover.
So this right here, it definitely makes sense to grab this before it spikes up even more because as you said earlier in the show, a #1 has this excitement about it, this key moment that means a little bit more than the 4th appearance or the 3rd appearance. You know what I'm saying?
I would rather read this than I'm sure Amazing Spider-Man 129 is good. Is that the one? I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, it goes up against Spidey.
Probably a cool story, but like as far as an origin story and forgetting more of the the groundwork of Punisher, this might be more my thing.
Last on the list today, because we've been talking about some Jim Lee comics in the last couple podcasts, I thought it fitting post the new year. Salts and Christmas Special #1. This is the first interior artwork by Jim Lee. He did inks on this. It's a weird story. Santa Claus fighting, and this is like a mall Santa who is trained in karate. So this right here is Samurai Santa. It's a strange book. Everyone needs to read it because it's very bizarre. But Jim Lee did his first work in comics in this interior. And this is one that you're going to wish you could have grabbed it in high grade for $50 or I would say $80 because I've owned this book like 10 different times and I don't think I've ever acquired it for under mid-grade. It's that black cover. It's poor paper quality. And people, when they got this, they were like, Samurai Santa. And they read through it because it's kind of, jokey on the cover. However, it being a key book for nothing on the cover or on the interior besides those inks done by Jim Lee, it's made it a collectible that I think there's people every time we bring this book up that go in the comment section. I didn't know that. I want it. So we got to remind you, comic family, that's why we're here.
Just for the story. It sounds kind of funny, but
we may have to bring it back to the mic.
Starting the auction off at $1 for 1 minute, like we always do.
This is one of our favorite covers, and you got it.
A little bit of that, what y'all been looking for, right? A little bit of that, what y'all been looking for, right?